Right, I thought I'd better show people what I mean when I'm talking about symbolic radionics. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. So you can see what I've got on the picture that you're seeing is a whiteboard. It's a small whiteboard with a circuit drawn on it, for want of a better phrase. So there's a circular spiral kind of space for a witness or a sample, which is the target for the healing or for the energy work that you're doing. That connects into a battery and then an amplifier. There's a dial in the middle, a circular dial. It goes from 0 to 100. And then on the other side there's a square kind of spiral space for dowsing, for using kind of a stickiness. It's called a stick pad, and in symbolic radionics it's used to find frequencies by rubbing your finger along the area until you get a kind of stickiness to it when you're going through. See, I was going from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, etc., moving my finger around on the stick pad, and it gets a bit of a stuckness there at about 60, for example. That would be the frequency that the energy work would require. So you can go through, it might be 60 and 80, or it might be 60 and 90, but you would find at least one frequency. In this case it's probably hertz or megahertz, and use that for the energy work that you're doing. I hesitate to say healing because it's not always healing. Sometimes it's killing parasites or killing viruses, or removing the, if you want to do it in a different way with a different set of belief systems, removing the environmental issue that creates the body's response that we know as a virus, which is potentially an exosome. So either way, there's something there that's registered with a particular frequency. It's a response, or it's either a cause or a response. If it's a cause, then you can eliminate it with that frequency. If it's a response, then the frequency that you've tuned to is the frequency of the cause. So either way, that frequency will knock out the problem. If it's an environmental issue, say it's some kind of wireless phone issue, either 3G, 4G, 5G, or walkie-talkies or CB radios, or whatever the frequency interference is, what we're doing is picking up a frequency that matches the frequency of the problem, and then using that to knock out the problem. So that's kind of how symbolic radionics works. So as an example, I could use hair as the witness. I could use a blood sample on a slide as a witness. I could use a piece of clothing. You can use anything that connects you to the thing that you're going to be working for as the witness, and then you dowse on the stick pad for a frequency or a combination of 2 or 3 frequencies. And then what I do is I set the dial to the frequencies, and then I use a light to indicate that I'm sending the energy. So you can either use a candle. I use a lava lamp, a cheap battery powered lamp that goes through the full spectrum from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and then back through including white. So it cycles through a couple of times, takes about 45 seconds. I use that to time the healing. So everybody will get 45 seconds of full spectrum, and then the intention is to include specific frequencies as well as the full spectrum. Right, so I think I'm just about done. I keep getting messages popping up here, so I'm going to call that a day. That explains what I'm doing with Symbolic Radionics for those people who don't know. If you've been listening to the radio show and you're confused about what I'm doing, this hopefully will explain it to you.